You guys have no idea how difficult it has been to film this video so far, okay? This is on my phone, because my main camera ran out of memory, ran out of battery, does that weird thing where it starts filming and then just wasn't film and then just weirdly shuts off for no reason. So we're doing it very casual, very personal style on the phone because I can't be bothered with my camera anymore. So, with that little rant out of the way, hello to those prospective University of Bolton students who clicked on this video because you saw they had the University of Bolton in the title, okay? And if you're not applied to the University of Bolton and if you're not a graphic design student, don't worry, okay? The advice I'm going to give in this video can probably be applied to several subjects in several different universities, so it's not just exclusive to this. I just happened to go there. Hi, I'm a third year, I'm a graphic design student at the University of Bolton, and I just thought, seeing as it's university interview season, I would hop on here, give you some advice from a veteran, I suppose. So yeah, this video can be split into 3 parts. 1, before you go to the interview, so how to prepare, what to expect, everything else. 2, during the interview, and just advice for what to say, how to act, whatever. And 3, the dreaded waiting period, which, if you go to the University of Bolton, specifically the graphic design department, you might not have to actually wait for your offer, but, you know, we're gonna get to that. So, yeah, and if you haven't seen my face before, hi, as I say, my name's Anna, this is Anna at Random, this is my channel, and my next few videos are going to be very sort of university advice orientated. Obviously this video is interview advice, and then my next video is going to be just brutally honest, general advice for the university experience, because I feel like everybody needs the advice that I'm going to give in that video. So if that sounds like something that could be relevant to you, if that sounds like something you want to tune in for, then by all means click that subscribe button, hit the bell, do all the things, because that's what I'm here to do for the time being, because obviously I'm a third year, so I'm not going to be around doing university content forever. But with that disclaimer out of the way, let us get into Anna's top tips for university interviews, specifically University of Bolton and graphic design. So, let's get into this. So as I say, chapter 1, if you will, is before you go to the interview, how to prepare. So if you're a graphic design student, you're going to be preparing your portfolio. If you're applying for another subject, you're going to be preparing something else. But specifically for graphic design, which is what we're going to talk about, you have to prepare your portfolio. Now then, okay, now if your college, sixth form or anything was anything like mine, people will be spending upwards of 100 quid on portfolio cases and getting everything professionally printed and individual little plastic slots, whatever. It can be a very expensive ordeal, and as I say, if your college, sixth form is anything like mine, you will be very pressured by the staff to do that. But my main point is, do not panic, do not stress, you do not have to spend that much money on a portfolio if you do not have the money, okay? Even though you see other people doing it, doesn't mean that you have to. If you want a very sort of in-depth video about how I prepared my portfolio when I was doing university interviews, I do actually have a video on that. It's very cute, because it's little 18-year-old me showing you my portfolio, but it's still a very helpful video even though it's quite old now. I will leave that in the cards if you guys want to go check that out. But my main point, as I say, do not stress. You do not have to spend a lot if you do not have the money. Okay, you might be pressured, you might feel intimidated to spend all this money and get everything professionally printed, but trust me, as long as it looks clean and you're not just, as I've said in that video, just shove a bunch of loose leaf paper in a plastic bag, you should be alright. Okay, you should be okay. Just make sure that it looks clean, it looks professional, even if you do not have the money to spend on making it look to the standards that perhaps your sixth form or college are trying to push you to get it to, okay? So, that's advice, little point number 1. Point number 2 in this chapter is watch other advice videos, okay? You can watch mine, please watch mine to the end, so I need the watch time, but after this video, by all means, go redo your research on other people's channels, do all the research, because it's going to be very beneficial for you to have as much advice and as much preparation as possible, especially mentally. So trust me, don't just take my word for it, watch other people's as well, okay? Especially if you're not applying to the University of Bolton, okay? Just look up more general advice videos because I'm sure they're going to be very useful for you. So, that's my second piece of advice. And my third piece of advice in this chapter is try not to worry, try not to get yourself anxious about it, try not to get yourself nervous about it. It is not that deep, okay? Unless you're applying to like a really top tier university, but a good university, in my opinion, will make you feel comfortable when you're there, and will not make you feel intimidated or nervous, or will not, you know, feed your nerves. They will help to calm them. So that's personally my advice in terms of that. You know, don't get yourself all psyched out about it, because, as I say, a good university will help to calm your nerves and make you feel welcomed and comforted and not intimidated. Moving on to chapter 2, which is during the interview. So you're there, you've got your portfolio, whether you spent loads of money on it or not, and now it is time to sit with the staff and talk about your work. So again, do not panic, try not to be nervous. Personally, in the graphic design department at the University of Bolton, the staff are very friendly. I remember it was the only interview where I went in and actually felt like they genuinely cared about my work and about me, and not just about it being a very formal interview. My first choice was the University of Bolton, of course, and then my second choice was Cumbria, and both of those universities made me feel very comfortable. Like, it was much more of a casual chat. I felt less intimidated by it. I felt like they were very friendly, very comforting, and again, as I say, a good university, in my opinion, will do that for you. If they make you feel kind of scared or like, you know, very intimidated, unless you don't mind that, if you like the sort of strict professionalism, then, you know, by all means go for that university, but personally that's not really the vibe that I wanted. So that's just my advice there. If you're going to the University of Bolton, I can only speak for one department, but trust me, the staff are very friendly. They are actually interested in you and your aspirations, your ambitions, and your talents and your skills and whatever. So trust me, just try and relax. It's not that deep, okay? It's not that deep. Obviously, during the interview, you're going to be talking about your work, you're going to be talking about your portfolio, and be confident in that work, okay? Goes kind of without saying, but talk about it with confidence, talk about why you like the artist. I know personally during the A-level you work with a lot of artists, like you do a lot of work inspired by other artists. So talk about why you like that artist, what skills you enjoy doing, but also, and this is a weird tip, if there is a skill that you're not quite that good at, or it's something that you hope to get out of the university course, point that out. Personally, when I was doing my interview, I wasn't that good at typography. I'm still not. So, you know, but I'm definitely a lot better than I was in sixth form because we focus on it a lot more. If you guys are doing the A-level, you know, typography, we don't really do a lot of typography. It is mainly like illustration and image based. So by all means, say that to them. They really didn't mind. They actually, I remember when I said that to them, it was Carol and Anthony, and they kind of looked at me like, oh, that's interesting. Not a lot of people say that. So they were saying like, we do a lot of typography in the course, so there are some students who come in with absolutely no typography experience, and then we give them that experience. So as I say, if it's something that you want to get out of the course, be confident and point that out as well, okay? Nobody's perfect, and it would actually like spark them to know about why you're doing the course and the fact that you want to improve your skills and things like that, okay? So don't be afraid to point out perhaps your weaknesses, as long as you're twisting it so that it's like, I want to get this out of the course, like I'm not very good at this, but hopefully the course will help to develop my skills. I want to develop my skills. You get what I'm saying, okay? Let's move on. Going back to kind of a good university will make you feel comfortable, you'll probably be going to more than like 2 interviews, right? You'll be going to possibly 5 interviews, because I think that's the maximum options, and obviously you've got to choose 2 universities out of those to be your first and second choice. So whilst you're there and whilst you're at the university, and this goes not just for interviews but if you're going to open days as well, gauge the vibe of the university, of the staff, do a lot of research into the university beforehand, things like the social life, and that's something I'm going to talk about in my next advice video, is the importance of a good social aspect, but that's for the next video, not this video, you know. But as I say, gauge the vibe of the staff. Do they make you feel comfortable? Are they friendly? Do they make you feel welcomed? Like, are you going to feel comfortable around them in class, you know? Can you see yourself in a class with that tutor, you know? Just really gauge the vibe of the university, of the staff, as I say, because that's definitely going to be a pivotal factor in just deciding your first and second choice universities. Whilst you're talking about all your work, in the back of your head be like, do I like you? Do I feel comfortable around you? That kind of thing. And finally, the dreaded waiting period after your interview. Now then, as I said at the beginning, as I sort of teased, I got an unconditional offer straight after my interview, right? Like, literally I hadn't even left the room and Carol was like, right, so we're gonna give you an unconditional offer, and I was like, oh, that's fun. Because I already knew that Bolton was going to be my first choice anyway from the open days. Because again, it was more of the same thing of they were genuinely interested in me and my ambitions and skills and interested in the subject, and that carried through from the taster session to the interview, you know, that that basically convinced me out of all the 5 universities that I applied to that this was gonna be my first choice. So I didn't actually have to wait for my offer from them, which was different to obviously every other university that I applied to, because everywhere else I did have to wait. But if you do have to wait, if you're applying to a different university or that's the system they don't use anymore, then by all means you're going to be in the dreaded waiting period of seeing whether you got the offer or not. And my biggest piece of advice is, again, don't panic. I feel like I've said that a lot in this video, but do not panic. Everything happens for a reason. If you don't get into your first choice, you will get into another one and it will work out and everything will be fine. Obviously, after your interview, reflect on how the interview went. Again, also reflect on the vibe you gauged from the university and the staff. And, you know, don't obsess over your interview necessarily, but kind of do obsess more over whether you felt comfortable in their presence and, you know, all that good stuff, because the most important thing is that you choose the right university for you. If you get an offer and you didn't really like the vibe of the university, then perhaps choose another one if you have that option. But yeah, that's my first piece of advice there. And yeah, as I say, don't obsess on how your interview went. More of your reflection should be about which university is going to be your first and second choice, and, you know, things like that. Do not stress about how it went, just think about which universities are going to be right for you. And when your offer comes through, you can obviously make that decision, and as I say, everything happens for a reason, so you will choose the right university for you in that moment. So yeah, this was just a bit of a video where I thought I would give you some advice. I hope this was helpful. For anyone applying to the University of Bolton, stay tuned to my next video where I give some general advice. I mean, not just about like the specific university, but in the university in general, because I feel like everybody needs to hear the advice that I'm gonna give you in that video. I think it's really, really important, so by all means stick around for that, because as I say, I think it's gonna be really, really important for everyone to hear that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you found it helpful. Good luck for your interview, okay? You're gonna smash it. No matter what, you're gonna smash it, and as I say, everything happens for a reason. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more of my videos. Also, make sure to follow me on all my social media, names to which will be, as always, at the end of this video. And yeah, good luck at your interview, as I say, and I will see you guys in the next one.